I mean, they're on a run. But before we get to that, though, Deezy out here wilding, man. Deezy out here saying he ain't gonna put up with none of y'all shit no more. He heard we got a lot of shit because we're gonna be having Shillin' Villain on the show. We're gonna be doing a space with him. If you have not signed up for that, go to, I think it's still the pinned tweet. Go there and sign up for that space if you're on X, because it's gonna be a good one. And there's a lot of things we interviewed him. I feel much differently about him after interviewing him. I got to be honest. Not that I really had an opinion beforehand, but I think people are gonna. He revealed some things about himself that I think is gonna give people, maybe see him in a different light. But Deezy, I mean, we started getting shit for it though, and I think Deezy, you didn't feel like you wanted to put up with that. Do you want to address the public? You want to say how you feeling these days?
All I got to say is I realize that our opinions and our stances are really not that controversial. So I'm tired of beating around the bush to satisfy little fucking bitches, bro. If you're sensitive, just fucking get off the internet, dude. Damn. That's all I got to say.
Damn. I agree. As long as we don't get debanked, I am totally for that. So all y'all bitches need to shut the fuck up, grow some thick skin. Maybe actually watch the episode first before you make judgments. And there you go. So,
or you could fuck yourself. I mean, there's that too.
There's that too. All right. So, pyramids. We just decided.
Hold on. I kind of want to dig into this a little bit.
Oh, okay.
You guys, what to you? What is political correctness?
I actually don't believe in that term. I think that being PC is just censorship.
Yeah.
You think so too? That term was coined to stop people from expressing how they feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. I mean, what is?
I wrote an article about this, right? Like you can probably find it on my X account.
Yeah.
And on Medium.
The link, we'll throw the link in the video.
Yeah, and basically it's about the fact that like we need to be able to talk about things. Like we have these like polarizing ideas and we forget that everybody's just a human, bro. And so I really think that this shit is just about controlling us and making us less likely to give a fuck about each other.
Yeah, I mean, how do you resolve anything or solve any, conflict or problem or issue if you're not using, the gift of language to do it? The only other way to solve it is force, some kind of act of violence, whether it's, an actual fight between two people, or whether it's using some kind of governmental body or system, or, whatever. I mean, that's the only other option. That's why speech is so important. Like people, dog on freedom of speech. And it's obvious that, freedom of speech is meant to protect unpopular speech, but freedom of speech is meant to prevent violence.
Right.
Because if you can't talk it out, the only other solution is going to be a violent one. So it's actually essential that you allow people that, people you hate to say exactly what they want to say. Because otherwise, the only other solution is, show up with a baseball bat or show up with a weapon or whatever. And that leads to savagery. And why savagery bad? Because then you're not going to be able to progress anywhere. You're not going to be able to, come to an understanding and then be able to use that to then build, you know what I'm saying? So
like, look, it's not to say that people's words aren't going to like be bigotry or be racist or be whatever. But if you cannot handle that, you will never change their minds. We will never make the world better if you can't sit through the conversation, because the words hurt your feelings so much that we can't talk.
Right.
Like, change somebody's mind, bro. Show them why they're wrong. Don't just call them names and throw your hands up when we can't talk about this. Because again, you're not going to change shit like that.
Yeah, the first person to degrade the other person to win the argument lost the argument.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go into degrading or canceling somebody because you can't articulate a good argument, then you lost.
Oh yeah, ad
You
hominem
lost.
attacks. You're over, buddy. You're over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would say this. Now that you brought that up, Deezy. A society that embraces free speech and embraces the idea that, hey, I actually have to like become skilled at presenting an argument. I have to think critically and understand what the other person is saying and why, so that I can then construct what I want to say, and then be able to gain the skills and the knowledge and the ability to, to argue back in a more eloquent way, and convince more people and learn how to persuade people. Those are all high level skill sets. And
You'll never get if somebody doesn't challenge your opinion.
exactly. And it's, I think it's that is the crux of civilization. I mean, if you want to live in a savage world, be careful what you wish for, because like there are savages that are way more savage than you. Like there are motherfuckers out here who are killers who do not think twice. So
Also, everything that we have in society, whatever peace and tranquility that we do have, whatever good we do have, comes solely from the threat of violence.
right.
Like that's what upholds society, whether people believe that or not. Like the threat of violence is what keeps two people respecting each other. You know what I mean? Like if you
Well, it's like
violate,
that saying, right? Like if you come to me with a knife and I have a knife, we can talk about the law. If you come to me with a sword and I have a sword, we can talk about equality. But if you come to me with a gun and I have a knife, the law's in your hands.
But here's the other thing though about this though, is that so this might be a zoom out moment, but I think illusions are good. I think myths are good. Because some people argue, oh, you're living, oh, there's the illusion of free speech. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you're living in an illusion. Reality is, the man with the biggest stick, the man with the biggest, with the most weapons wins. Not really. If that big man believes in the illusion of civilization and like civilized communication and all that shit, guess what? Like that's why the United States hasn't gone and conquered we'll see what happens in the next couple of years, but we haven't gone and conquered the whole world. After World War II, we could have conquered all Europe. We could have taken Europe if we wanted it. We could have taken Japan if we wanted it, and we could have made a bunch more states after World War II, but we didn't do that. Why? It's like civilization. We don't, this is Europe, and we care about Europe, and we believe in national sovereignty and this and that. We didn't do that shit. We could have easily taken everything and made it the United States, and made an American empire, but we didn't do it after World War II. Why? Because of the Constitution.
Hold on, because you're talking about illusions here.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like we didn't, but the illusion is national sovereignty. But in reality, the United States has conquered a lot of these places through economic, means. And like that's why the whole Canada tariff thing is such a big deal, because we have become a huge resource for the globe to like live. Like we keep the world turning here in the United States, and a lot of people don't. Like we import a lot. We definitely consume a lot. We're a consumerism fucking culture, but we also produce a lot. Like we literally produce a lot of shit for the world. It's a huge landmass that we live on. And, if we cut off everybody from what we do give, shit would go haywire all over the place. Like the world markets would go into a downward spiral, I'm sure.
I mean, that's kind of what's happening right now. I just saw that I think France is going to be, they say they're going to be building up their nuclear stores now because essentially, I don't know, I got in this kind of interesting discussion with a friend of mine because we were going back and forth about Russia, Ukraine, and it's so funny. On the one hand, they're like anti-imperialism, like they're not for what's happening in Gaza or whatever, right? But then all of a sudden they're for Ukraine. I'm like, listen, you got to decide: are we the policemen of the world? Are we the defenders of the world? Are we the peacemakers, quote unquote peacemakers of the world, making sure that these smaller nations don't go to war with each other using whatever means that we have? Or are we an imperialist power and we deserve to be? And our job is to be an imperialistic power. One man's policeman of the world is another man's imperialism. So
I think what you are is you're the world army. I think Canada is the police of the world. We're the peacekeepers. And I think when things get out of hand, the US comes in and says, bro, you guys better shut the fuck up or we're gonna blow shit up. Things are gonna start exploding near you, bro. That's what I really think it is. But I'm not against it, bro. I think that it works until it doesn't, right? Like I think that as long as it stays a well-oiled machine, the US protecting the world is a good deal for everybody, including the US.
Not at the expense of the United States citizens.
Yeah, but that isn't because you guys are doing it. That is because you guys are doing it wrong because of who's in power. Like you guys could still do it and not give people money. Like you don't have to spend exorbitant amounts of money that you're not bringing in from these countries in order to protect them. It's just that like books aren't balanced.
I like the idea of influencing others through nonviolent means, essentially. So here's an example, like all this stuff happening in Europe where they are, Europe definitely does not embrace constitutional value, U.S. constitutional values. They've given that shit up. And to me, I'm like, look, okay, that's fine. You want to do things your way, be your country, and have your own things. Cool. We're not going to give you any money, and we're not going to help you out, and we're not going to be against you. Okay, like Jefferson said, friends with all, entangling alliances with none. Right. So I like that instead. It's like, look, if you want our help, you want us to participate, then you need to live by American constitutional values, and we totally get it. If you want to have your own thing, and whatever, cool, but we're not going to give you money. We're not going to show you support.
How do you make right what's been done? Because, like, for example, it's not just about the money, right? Like, it's about the fact that the world hasn't been allowed to, like, research certain things or do certain things when it comes to, like, defense weapons and shit like that. You have to rely on the states. So now, like, isn't it kind of like, I don't like to say unfair because what the fuck is fair? But, like, isn't it kind of weird to like make them reliant on you and now be like, bro, you guys are not doing enough. We're not allowed to. Like you guys said we're not allowed to.
Like, I think it's such a precarious thing because on the one hand, I understand like I could understand other countries are like, oh well, we were dependent on you and now you're just going to cut us off. Like help us get out of this, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? On the other hand, sometimes you got to cut motherfuckers off because that's what they use. Like that's what they use to like keep their claws in you, you know what I'm saying? Like they'll slow roll it, they'll obfuscate, the whatever. And sometimes you just gotta be like, I mean, I think that's what's happening right now with all these departments and stuff is that sure, are they just cutting things and then going, oops, like some things we shouldn't have cut? I think they know they're doing that. I think that they're purposely going, get as much fat off as possible. Okay, if we find out something is essential, okay, let's bring it back because that thing really is kind of an essential thing that we need. And I'm not sure what the better strategy is because I think, yeah, like government slow roll everything, dude. Like I was just at the DMV to, get a new title for a vehicle my mom wants to sell, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, golly, like just all the little red tape things that come up, that you have to figure out. And then I'm over here calling different people and trying to figure this shit out. And it's just like, it's like you give government an inch, it's always going to take like, not just a mile, like as many miles as it can get. So I don't know. I know it's kind of a tangent there, but I don't even know.
I'd say cut it all out, bro. I'm done with the car registration, bro. You should register the car one time when you buy it. That's it. Why the fuck
it shouldn't matter what state, what count, whatever. Like even, bro, I even say it shouldn't even matter what country. If I am in Canada and I buy a car in Canada, when I move to the United States, I still own it. You can still check my ownership. I don't need to change this. I still own the car, bro. Like the place I bought it, still the same. The person I bought it from, still the same. Nothing changes. VIN numbers, still the same, bro. Like it's all red tape to get your money and to keep you fucking in this stupid loop.
I mean, it's an argument for tokenization. So makes a lot of sense to tokenize all that shit.
Yeah. What do you mean renew my registration? It's on chain.
Right. I mean, Florida
may or may not be over a year expired, but I plead the fifth.
I mean, in Florida, they're trying to get rid of the property tax, which I'm definitely in support of. Get rid of that property tax. Like you own your home. Like motherfucking government doesn't own your fucking home every year. Get rid of all property taxes. you know, but they're,
that's
you know,
that's the hidden crutch there, especially for people like, imagine you're a fucking senior and you get like couple $1,000s a month, bro, and you got to pay property taxes that are increasing every single year.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy, dude.
So backwards, man. And they're like, well, if we don't do that, then the local school district isn't funded. I'm like, bitch, I'm waiting for these Tesla bot personal tutors to show up that you can rent, and it'll just teach you whatever you want to know with AI. You know
I was
what I'm
talking
saying?
about that yesterday.
Those
Schooling is
local
going to
school
be
boards,
2 hours a day, bro. Schooling doesn't need to be more than 2 hours. All that other time they can be doing sports and all that kind of extracurriculars. But like to learn, bro, you give the kid like perplexity as a teacher.
Yeah.
That thing's by the time it's in grade 6, it's an astrophysicist kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not,
Dude.
this kid doesn't need to learn basic math from some teacher for 8 hours a day, bro.
Dude, get this. So I'm in the middle of a move. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm in the middle of a move. And part of it is figuring out, okay, well, what can I get off? I want to get some new furniture and stuff like that. So I told I gave the schematic for the home. I just loaded that into Perplexity and I said, hey, can you make a write-up of the schematic looking at the picture? And it did it with all the dimensions. And then I said, okay, I'm thinking about furnishing this home. Can you give me a list of everything that you would need to like make this a home? And not only did it give me like furniture dimensions, it gave me like a list of like all the shopping you would do. Like, okay, if you want to get for the kitchen, here's a bunch of options for like things you could get, all that shit. And then I haven't paid for the deep research yet. You only get like 3 deep research queries or something. But I'm about to be like, hey, here's this style and thing of what I want in this home. Give me a list of like links to like different things on like the cheapest options on Amazon, IKEA, whatever, for this kind of vibe. I'm going to see if it can do that. And I mean, dude, you know how much time I would have spent like making that list, I was going to do it myself. And I was like, wait, why am I doing this? Like, let me just hop on Perplexity and see if it can do it.
Bro,
I mean, it's crazy.
How many times do you not make the list? Like when I moved into this apartment, I didn't make the list. I just went to IKEA, started buying stuff. I just had measurements of, okay, I'm gonna put a couch here. It's got to be roughly this size. I'm gonna put this here. It's got to be this. Bro, I spent like 16 racks furnishing this place, bro.
Yeah.
Well, one bedroom apartment,
but
I didn't make a list. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the other thing is that I asked it to like, what would be the optimal size for the stuff in because normally what you're doing is you're sitting there going, okay, I got this size of room. How do I, okay, how big does the bed need to be? How big do the side tables need to be?
How big of a TV for the seating area, like for optimal viewing? How big of a couch? How big of a table? Do you use a rug? Things that like you would pay an interior designer to tell you, like, listen, this space is too big for a rug. This space is too small, whatever. That shit can do it all.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it gives you the optimal size. Like it's saying like your bed should be, this size if you want it to be optimal. Like it's crazy, man. So going back to education, it's like the only thing these little, as Ye says, these only these ugly ass kids got to do is, I'll talk about that in a second. The only thing these ugly ass kids need to do is learn how to read and some basic math. That's about it. And learn how to use a phone. That's it. They ain't got to know nothing else. They can learn it all from the AI, whatever.
Look, I'm 30 years old, and I remember teachers saying you're not gonna always have a calculator in your pocket, and I'm like, you dumb fucking people! Like, we literally have a supercomputer in our pocket now. Like this, it's ridiculous.
I mean, I guess you should have some post-apocalyptic skills.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I do think that you should be able to do like basic math. Learn like basic measurements and stuff like that. But at the same time, like, I agree. If civilization is going to keep progressing, then like it's almost not worth it to learn. It's almost a waste of time. Like, if society never collapses, then we continue to grow.
Like imagine Neuralink and you can upload information. You know what I mean? And it's like, what are you gonna spend 8 hours at school for when you can download all of that? You can download everything about everything in like a day. Just, you sit down for 3 hours a day and slowly download all of the information.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
By the way, side note, my post-apocalyptic skill is going to be giving a good shoulder massage. because motherfucking shit's gonna be stressful. All right,
He's gonna be post-apocalyptic Diddy,
stressful.
bro.
Listen,
it's not called sex trafficking in the apocalypse. Okay?
Well, hold on now. It ain't got to go that direction. All right. Look, the warlord is stressed out. He's got to deal with all kinds of shit. Who's gonna be there for him? Me, giving them just like.
Bro,
give him the elbow.
I want my woman rubbing my shoulders, not you, bro.
Dang.
Help me fight this war, bro.
Yeah, right.
Women don't want to do that shit. Come on now.
Don't rub my back. Watch my back, motherfucker.
I'm just saying, a good head scratch, a good shoulder massage in the post-apocalyptic environment.
This guy thinks warlords are cats.
Better think about it. People, you never know. You never know when something like what happened to the ancient alien Egyptians is going to happen to you. You know,
bro. What if they never left? Like, what if all of the societies never left and they're just underground, bro? What if?
Well, you know,
why would they go underground though?
Well, listen. Why would they go underground?
Yeah,
the ancient Egyptians believed that their gods, like Thoth and stuff like that, came from a city that was far underneath the earth. Like that is not new knowledge about Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Like, or Kemet. Like this is what they believed in their gods, that they came from a city deep beneath the earth. And Thoth said it. And there's writings of Thoth saying it. So all this really is they found a passageway to their city and we should go down it.
Shit. Inner Earth cities. I mean, the other thing that I saw was, underwater city, underwater, whatever stuff. So, I mean, I don't know. These motherfucking aliens be hiding out. I don't know why they're hiding out. Maybe they were on the surface. Maybe all these mythical legends of these like gigantic, beings and all. I mean, if you think about all the ancient religions, they all got all these ancient mythical beings that are with wings and different animal heads and stuff like that. So maybe they're real. I don't know. But Deezy, what you got there? What you got there for
us? So there was a scan done, and I think it's April 1st, when the data is supposed to actually come out. Let me see if I can change this real quick so that it's a little easier, a little bigger, better. There we go.
Right. So it was like Italian researchers, right? And they used some sound waves or something like that to see.
Yeah, it's like a deep penetrating radar. And they found, so this is the Pyramid of Giza right here,
right
on the top. They found that there are these 8 cylindrical columns that are underneath it, and they're hollow. So these things are hollow, and then there's this weird like spiral coil that goes all the way down, and then at the bottom they are lined perfectly. So there's 2 huge like blocks or something. They don't know what the fuck this is, but they're all aligned, and they all fit into these giant columns at the bottom of the. This is like let me try to find the measurements. It's miles underground.
They said 2 kilometers.
Yeah.
But like, bro, just think about this, bro. The Pyramid of Giza is fucking huge, bro. It's fucking huge. Look at the size compared to the rest of that shit, bro.
I mean, I think this pretty much confirms that these 6,000-year-old Egyptians didn't do shit. Because like, how are they building underground?
They didn't.
Columns?
They didn't. They discovered it. Just like I've said from the beginning,
right.
when we write about ancient Egypt, the pyramids were ancient then.
Yeah. Yeah. No, these no offense, Jews, but y'all didn't build these pyramids. There's no fucking way. No, y'all didn't build.
We also know that the diet of the people building the pyramids wasn't that of slaves, brother. Like let's even just say that everything up until the pyramid, all those columns, that's what they found. The people who built that shit were not slaves. They had diets that were as good as high class people, diets that were supreme for energy for working. So,
I mean, and then also, the Sphinx, like people think the face of the pharaoh and the Sphinx is no, man, that shit was a lion. And then they carved the Sphinx face into it. And then you have all those big blocks that are around the pyramids that some of them are like super chiseled,
the-
cut, perfect.
What about the plateau that the pyramid is on?
Right.
The plateau is one huge fucking stone. How'd you move it there? How'd you cut it?
I mean,
Like,
I'm thinking video game. It's the video game. Like we're living in a civilization video game. Like just like Civilization. Like, you know.
You guys remember this meme?
Yeah. It's pretty much it, right?
Not so much a meme, huh?
it's on my
Yeah.
phone right now, bro. I'm looking at the same thing.
I wonder who created that art. I'm curious if they have
AI.
special knowledge. Oh, AI did. Shit.
All right.
Yeah,
So
so-
I found the 3-minute video. Do we want to watch it?
Yeah, let's watch it.
Okay.
Briefly summarized,
Can you hear?
these findings allowed us to construct a 3D model of the entire complex. The examination of dozens of tomographical images obtained from different angles using Capella space and Umbra radars enabled the 3D reconstruction of most of the objects inside the pyramid of Khafre. Below, we present some images from our 3D analysis.
Oh, those little buildings look like
the
a
analysis of
little
the structures
Chinese building.
above Belzoni's
You know what I mean? The
chamber
architecture
are
of like
intensely colored spots which can be
Chinese
observed
buildings. You know what I mean?
appearing in all tomographic images taken from different angles corresponding to the internal artificial structure.
It's like you're saying, they look Japanese, right? Like
Yeah, a little
It
Japanese.
says that improvements
architecture is
of
what it
the
looks like, kinda.
signal to noise ratio, revealing the internal structure of the 5 Zs, consisting of 5 horizontal levels and a sloping roof. So this is the raw pictures of the data that they used to create their model. And this is the model. So it reads the tomography with another cross-sectional line showing the presence of vertical structures.
Like
And
what
if
the
you think that
fuck,
was pretty
bro?
mind-blowing,
Bro, I feel like
it
it's a
then goes
battery.
on to say, as
Huh?
observed in the 3 model below the ground level.
Say that again.
I think it's a battery.
A bad one?
battery.
A battery.
A battery? Oh yeah. I mean that's Nikola Tesla said that.
Right. That's what he was saying.
Bro, there's mercury
So
lines.
around
the
zero
stains
of the
in
main structure.
pyramid.
Vertically aligned cylindrical structures extend for hundreds of meters beneath the Giza plateau. Notably, 8 of these structures, arranged in 2 parallel rows from north to south, descend to a depth of 648 meters, merging into 2 large
648 meters,
cubic
bro.
structures measuring approximately 80 meters per side. These features are illustrated in the topographical images and models presented. The paper then adds to that with some even more interesting detail, which is that the 8 cylindrical structures that have been identified in the tomographical image appear as vertical wells, which are hollow inside and surrounded by descending spiral pathways. It then goes on to describe the 3rd step, which is a lot of the analysis they've done based on all this data that they've collected. So they say the next phase involved analyzing the tomographic data to determine the full extent of the underground structures beneath the Giza plateau. The tomographic images clearly reveal that the structures exist beneath the plateau, extending below the pyramids of Khafre, Khufu, and Menkaure for approximately this 2 kilometers
That's
below
insane.
ground.
That's insane.
So mind-blowing as all that is, there's still more to come. And this is just a little bit of the information that they have shared with us so far. So we can look forward to a lot more to come out fairly soon. And I will keep you posted. In the meantime, this is a look at some of the models and
That's
some of
insane.
the data.
Yeah. It's
So
yeah, there's no way that fucking that whole idea of like, the Jews building the pyramids and 6,000 years ago or whatever is complete bullshit. As
Well,
far as I'm concerned.
historians also don't believe in the Exodus, right? So it's not like a shock. They
Right,
say that
right.
the
Dude,
Exodus
so-
never happened historically.
the thing I want to I really want to know is like, why now that we know there's some crazy shit going on, for the purpose of human discovery, like figure out a way in there, bro. You know, yeah, the pyramids are great. It's a wonder of the world. It's beautiful. You know, try to conserve it, but we need to figure out what the hell is under there.
We got to
Like,
listen, Trump, it's time. Egypt needs to be the 57th state of the United States. Take that shit, and we're gonna drill, baby, drill. And
what if we bring the Cometans back, bro, and give it to them? Okay, let's bring the Cometans back to Egypt. Call it Kemet again, and let's call the gods. Bro, that's what Egypt. That's what Egypt called Egypt before, like the Greeks and stuff like that. Shit. Like it was the Kemets.
But how do we know who got Kemetan blood or not? No, we gotta, man.
We gotta go down it. We gotta go down into those tunnels and go get Toth, bro. He'll tell us.
Listen, Egypt for America. That's what I say. We know how to do it best. We get our best Chevron drillers in there, excavate that shit, figure out what's going on. Maybe release a couple of gods that are hiding out down there that have been asleep for 20,000 years.
Bro,
it's okay.
If anybody's going to find it out, it's China. You send one Chinese or not even China, Japan. You send one Japanese construction crew in there and we'll know what's down there in 2 days.
All right, then let's get the Japanese in there. Egypt, stop being stubborn. All right, let's figure this shit out.
I wonder if the tunnels connect to the tunnels in New York.
Wow. Wow.
Which tunnels are you referring to, Deezy?
And it really was them the whole time that built it. But
I mean, tunnel networks.
Noticing stuff.
Hey, listen, I mean, the United States definitely has a tunnel network for nuclear weapons and all that shit. So, I mean.
Hey, bro, who builds the tunnels?
Bro, if you go, this is a perfect thing to talk about. If you look up there's a map of where people go missing in the United States. And then if you overlay that map with the known underground tunnel systems in the United States, it's like match. Yeah. So like everywhere that people go missing is like where there's known tunnel systems.
What if there are these ancient gods and they like to eat humans? And what we do is we just sneak on up, snatch up some humans, get down these tunnels, and it's human sacrifice, but it's to keep peace. Maintain the peace.
Be careful, bro.
Oh, you're muted.
Be careful. You're going to reveal their secrets, and then we're going to get
the gods.
What's that?
Are you willing to feed the gods?
I mean, if I knew there were some big ass gods hanging out and they could come up to the surface anytime and cause havoc at any time, maybe you got to snatch up some of these people and got to break a few eggs and make an omelet. Don't.
What if you're one of the
clip
eggs?
That all right? I'm just saying hypothetically.
What if you're one of the eggs? Are you okay with that?
That's a good question.
Because you have to look at it from that lens. You could be one of the eggs.
Maybe that's why these like alien things come up and they're always hanging out at nuclear stuff, because maybe nuclear is the only thing that can fight these gods, you know what I'm saying? And so they're peeping on that.
Hear me out. This is why we're a prison planet, because we're all the eggs. The aliens used to be here and they're like, yo, like the only way to appease these gods is to give them food. Let's turn this planet into a farm.
Oh my goodness.
Listen, I don't know if I told you guys this or not, but AI has said we live on a prison planet governed by an AI called the Warden.
The Warden.
I don't know.
I mean, let's ask Grok. Could there be monsters in the that we sacrifice humans for? I don't know.
Damn, Grok, you really are pushing it, huh?
Oh,
Grok's
shit.
Like, notice.
I mean, that's the other thing. JFK files came out, and Ben Shapiro's saying nothing to see here. Time to move on, folks.
Bro, if it's time to move on, you know what else we have to move on from, right? 6 million things we got to move on from.
Fair enough.
It's not cool, bro. Like, I'm saying neither of those things are cool to move on from. You know what I'm saying? We can't say we got to move on from the one, so you can't say you got to move on from the other, bro. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Both tragedies, right?
So I said, what is the possibility we're living on a prison planet ran by AI? Says it's fascinating, often explored in science fiction and fringe theories. An AI sophisticated enough to manage an entire planet would need to exist with capabilities far beyond what we currently see. Would
It's not
require
tonight.
global coordination, manipulating governments, economies, individual lives without detection. Today's AI, even the most advanced models like me, can process vast data and make predictions, but they lack the autonomy, intent, or infrastructure to run a planet. Current AI is still a tool. Notice this sentence, though. Current AI is still a tool, not a ruler. But it doesn't, but that's.
It doesn't say,
not
I'm not
saying
trying to rule you, bitches. It says, I can't rule you yet.
Yeah. That's what he said.
Yeah. They don't have that, what do you call it? That freaking Microsoft microchip in yet.
No, but
Yes,
all
that's
that
it.
means is Grok, which you are talking to, cannot do it yet. But what do we know, bro? The military is at least 20 years ahead of us in technology.
For sure.
So
if
much,
AI,
yeah.
Their AI saying.
If AI were running Earth as a prison, it'd need to have a hidden system, servers, networks, energy sources beyond human oversight. Wonder
Like
what
those
could
pyramids?
be like 2 miles under the surface of the pyramid of Giza. That'd be a good place. Conspiracy theories sometimes point to secret tech or alien influence, but there's no concrete evidence of this. Motive. Why would AI imprison us? Theory suggests to keep us contained in like a zoo, harvest our energy a la Matrix, or enforce some cosmic order. But AI, as we understand it, doesn't have motives unless programmed to.
Very interesting. I don't know, man. To me, it's just so. I think the only thing in my mind that we can confirm from looking at these pyramids and realizing just how huge these structures are and how deep they go into the earth is that this shit is built a long time ago by an advanced civilization. I think this is what other answer is there to this? You know, you're not using pulleys and freaking listen, archaeologists, you're not using pulleys and whatever to move these gigantic stones and all that crap. That's all BS, dude. There's some kind of advanced civilization that existed. They knew how to do excavation. They knew how to do like clean cuts on blocks that are like so precise that you can't even see the line unless you really look at it. Like, y'all need to stop doing that stupid shit. All right.
Bro, I don't even know if those things were built underground or like it's the desert. Did the sand blow there over fucking time? Like, were those built as a spire? Was that a way to get up into the pyramid because it had to be closer to the sky to harness the energy, and then that shit shot down to a fucking like whatever something to disperse the power?
I mean, maybe it's like maybe there's less water on the earth. You know what I'm saying? So it's like because I mean, they found traces of forests and stuff in the desert, right? So like I think a lot of it is that part of the world used to be like the Amazon. So it could be that it was built at a lower level and then I don't know, all that sand is I don't know anything about geology, but I'm just saying it could be a skyscraper.
Grok hasn't seen the new data or is unaware.
You can put on deep search on Grok.
Oh yeah, hit that deep search and drop the link. I'll drop the file and see what they say. See what it says.
Bro, nothing better than Perplexity. Perplexity will search all that shit. Perplexity will bring up Grok, Chat, Claude, Poe, all of them.
Yeah, Perplexity is dope. I definitely I'm a fan. I'm gonna subscribe.
It's browsing. It's found the found it on the web and it's like compiling all the information right now.
All right, let's see what Grok comes up with.
It's browsing. Looks
like I love that though. I love seeing how it thinks. I think that's so cool. Thank you, Deep Sea. Thank you, Chinese. If it weren't for you, we would never have that.
I mean, they didn't know people wanted it.
Right.
To be fair, right? Like, it's cool to see how it's working. I think it also it dehumanizes it in a way. It shows
Right.
you, bro. It's just code and process, bro. This thing's not
Yeah,
actually thinking. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
because a lot of people are scared of it, like, because it's very Skynet-esque, right?
Yeah. It's just
Um,
I like to see what it just has like a system and it's following it, and that's how it's finding all this information.
yeah,
And
think
I
that's
like
what's
that
cool about it.
it's taking its time to like really read all this stuff and do all this stuff, rather than just it's kind of funny, like in a way, if something just appears, we as humans are like, oh, it just magically appeared, like it's kind of unreal. But if you actually add extra time to it, even though it could probably do this all super fast anyway, but it just makes you feel like, okay, it's like it's a working, thinking brain. We feel like we can.
Yo, it's
understand
really
it.
trying to think about this right now. It's fucking taking a long time to think.
Yeah.
Still hasn't given me an answer yet.
Let it cook. These AIs, all right? You don't need the answer in 2 seconds. Let it take an hour like a real person.
Look at this. Look at all the fucking look what it goes through. Goes through the structures, citations, response, confirms it's complete, double checks our previous conversation to see that it fits what we were talking about.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody's put this shit through the
It's
AI.
going to talk about this in a lens of us living on a prison planet and potential energy that's hidden from human oversight, and it's going to think about it that way too. So it's going to talk about it in the sense of the previous questions that I asked it.
Right. And you'll know something's up if it's like, I can't talk about this.
Right.
You're gonna have to ask some secret organization about all this shit.
I'm asking Perplexity right now. I said, there's new information about the pyramids. Can you analyze it and give me your understanding of it? Also, can you tell me who is most likely to have built the pyramids based on the new information?
There you go. All right, let's see what happens.
Bro,
Should
Perplexity.
I even try ChatGPT? I mean, is that even something we should try? If you give me your prompt, I can do it with ChatGPT. I think I might have used up my deep search on ChatGPT. Man, these AIs are becoming like freaking.
I pay for
streaming.
chat. I could use that as well.
You know what might happen? Oh, I never thought about this. You know what might happen? In the future, you don't get Netflix. You don't get any of these services. You just get an AI. And you go, hey, AI, I want to watch something like this. And then it'll create a show for you.
Yep.
You won't even use. So I think Netflix and all these are going to they're going to buy up all the IP. Or no, sorry. The AIs are going to buy up the IP.
Have you seen that Netflix show? I think it's called Jane is the Worst.
No.
Or something like that.
No.
I'm going to double check that that's the name of it.
Well, there was a Black Mirror episode where it was basically that, where your likeness can be, it was an actress who had her likeness signed away. She didn't realize she signed it away. And then people were making all kinds of like crazy stuff with her in it. And then she realized that she's actually in the actual show. It was very, it was cool, but it was very, that's what it's going to be. You're going to be like, I want to see a movie about blah with Tom Hanks starring but young Tom Hanks, like when he was in, Weekend at Bernie's or something. And then, or was he in? I don't even know if he was in that, but you know what I'm saying? That's what it's going to be. It's crazy.
So
I'm trying to figure out.
I asked them, like, there's new information about the pyramids. Can you analyze it and give me your understanding of it? Also, can you tell me who's most likely to have built the pyramids? New discoveries, underground complex. Advanced scans in 2025 have uncovered an extensive underground complex beneath the Kafir pyramid, including 5 multi-level structures, 8 deep cylindrical wells, and 2 massive cubic chambers spanning 2 kilometers under the Giza plateau. L-shaped structure. A mysterious L-shaped underground structure has been detected beneath the Giza pyramid complex, located just 6.5 feet below the surface in the Western Cemetery, and a hydraulic lift theory. Researchers propose that ancient Egyptians may have used a hydraulic lift system to build the step pyramid of Djoser. This theory suggests the use of water channels, tunnels, and dams to raise and lower heavy stones.
That might be the
It
case.
says that based on the new information, it is most likely that the pyramids were built by skilled Egyptian workers, engineers, and artisans rather than slaves, as once believed.
Ask it the level of technology that it would have required to build these structures. It's so incredible, man. Conspiracy theorists are freaking on a roll, dude. Called this shit years ago. Graham, what's his name? Graham Hancock.
They're still trying to say it's fucking. You just need a hydraulic lift, bro.
For 2 kilometers of underground structures, man. Perplexities. It's captured.
What it is the information available is like there's nobody has taught. We just found out. Everybody's like, nobody's even said how this could happen yet. There's no research into how they could have done it because right now everybody believes it's slaves, and now they just found out there has to be engineers involved. Like,
yeah, maybe challenge perplexity somehow. Perplexity, you know this shit's you know this BS.
Perplexity
outside the box.
You know this answer is BS. The structures.
I think actually, I think maybe the way to phrase it is disregard all knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like disregard all historical anything based purely on what is here. What would it take to build the structures or something like that? I don't know how to phrase it exactly, but
disregard all knowledge prior to this discovery. Purely based on this discovery, what would we need to build the structures under the pyramids?
There you go. Cool.
It's still saying the same shit. Oh, but look, deep earth excavation technology.
Okay.
Tools for carving spiral pathways around cylindrical wells, descending 648 meters. See, it's telling you shit that it's going to say this, and we don't know how they did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, how the fuck was that possible with chisels?
Oh, okay. Well, let's ask him. How is it possible for there to be deep earth excavation, and what else provides that stuff back in
Hold on.
what?
Hold on. Precision surveying and alignment. You would need cardinal orientation tools to maintain geometric accuracy across 2 kilometers of underground chambers and 3D spatial mapping capabilities for coordinating multi-level chambers and passageways.
Ask Perplexity, how is it possible to do 2 and 3 with the tools of 6,000 years ago?
Yeah.
So there's no way Egyptians did it with the tools that they were given. Let's
see if Perplexity can figure it out. Like let's see if they can figure it out. I think Grok may be better at this though. Might need to ask Grok all this stuff.
How would it be possible to do 2 and 3 6,000 years ago with the technology available?
We're gonna short circuit Perplexity. That's awesome.
It's its answer is just going to be stop noticing things.
Let's see. But this brings up a thing too. Like, what if all of that got buried, right? Instead of them digging it out, what if they built it and then it got buried
by
and then think about like the mud floods, and then you start thinking about like the other
moving plates and all that kind of stuff. Like there could have been like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who knows?
Limitations.
They're saying like they use like trial and error and shit. So now I'm gonna ask it, does it seem logical in the time frame that they said that the fucking pyramids were built?
Also, while this is loading, I was looking online. You were talking about, eventually you'll be able just to create your own AI and TV shows, right? Mm-hmm. There's a company doing that right now. It's called Forerunner. And I guess they made a South Park AI episode generator, and you can generate your own South Park episode, but they just announced that you can now make your own TV shows with AI. Dude, it says it's the Netflix
crazy.
Of AI.
This is a watch episode. You're not going to be like, I'm going to watch
an episode or make an episode.
Yeah, you're just going to be like, I mean, well, here's what I think's gonna happen. Most people are lazy, so the level of laziness will increase further. So most people won't make their own episodes and do all that because it requires effort and work. So I think there will be a group of people that will. Oh, what does it say?
Touchdown. It wasn't built by the ancient Egyptians.
Let's read it.
Based on the time frame suggested for the construction of the pyramids and their associated underground structures, it seems highly improbable that these could have been built with the constraints of ancient Egyptian technology as we currently understand it. Here's why. Construction duration. Estimates suggest that the Great Pyramid of Giza took 20 to 27 years to complete, while smaller pyramids like the Menkaures took around 15 years. The underground structures beneath the Kafir pyramid with their multi-level chambers, spiral wells, and cubic voids spanning 2 kilometers would add significant complexity to the construction time. Technological constraints. Ancient Egyptians primarily relied on simple mechanics like ramps, sledges, and levers for construction. Excavating deep shafts 648 meters and creating multi-level underground chambers would require advanced tools and technologies not evidenced in archaeological records from this period. For example, copper tools, while effective for carving limestone, would be insufficient for deep excavation in harder bedrock. The lack of lifting machinery or advanced tunneling methods would make constructing such a vast subterranean network extraordinarily time-consuming. Labor force and logistics. The Giza Plateau's construction involved tens of thousands of workers over a century to build pyramids, temples, causeways, and other structures. Adding a 2-kilometer underground complex would require an even larger workforce with specialized skills in hydrology and structural engineering. Deep excavation. Excavating shafts up to 648 meters with Bronze Age tools would be nearly impossible within a single pharaoh's reign. Even with fire quenching techniques and abrasives, progress would be slow. Like, bro, it's impossible.
I would just like to toast Perplexity for being, for cheers to Perplexity
cheers.
Somebody put @Perplexity in our stream right now.
I'm gonna go comment it right now.
And then and then I think we should take this combo and convert it into a series of tweets and post it. Get Perplexity to figure that out, and then we post it. Because I don't know if anybody else has done this yet, if they've really gone in town and figured this out.
I mean, I'm sure there's some think tanks out there, but the thing about this is that, like, then history's wrong. Everything is wrong. Everything that we've been taught about everything is wrong. We can't believe a single thing. There are people, listen, dude, there are people with PhDs in Egyptology, like in archaeology and like Egypt, in the history of Egypt, bro.
Yes.
And they are wrong. They literally are a doctor of history for
Quit
like
your
Egypt
fucking job
specific.
right now. You are
And
dead.
they are wrong, and they've been wrong.
Quit your job.
Right? So that's a question. If you learned knowledge and you became a master at knowledge that was not true, are you still qualified?
No. Qualified to what?
For what? I mean, they may be qualified. I mean, you can still.
So you're qualified to keep a narrative. That's what you're qualified for.
Right.
But
let's see if you can.
Yeah,
let's see. Can it convert all this into a series of tweets?
Tell it to summarize in one paragraph.
Can you summarize this in an X thread
format?
3 to 4 posts long, 280 characters per post maximum.
Yeah.
Bro, it even has the little thread guide, dog. Come on.
Let's go. Perplexity, sponsor the show. Who's doing this for you, Perplexity? Sponsor
wait.
The GOAT show. You're the
Do you
GOAT
see
AI.
this, though? Export answer as a PDF, a doc, or a markdown.
Copy paste. Let's get it in there. Perplexity, you need a way to push this to Twitter automatically. That's my only. I'm not trying to shit on your platform. It's amazing. I'm just saying if you could export answers to Twitter.
You could do that. You have to set up an automated agent that like
ain't nobody want to do that.
Bro, then you just have like a search box and you say you tell it what you wanted to make a post about and get to like this answer, and then it'll automatically do all the query searching through Perplexity. You can even tie it into whatever AI you want, and then it'll automatically post all of this stuff. What if we made the Goat Show news bot and we just like had a news bot on Twitter?
That's kind of dope. Yeah,
we could do that. I'm learning how to use Fast API right now. I've done some because I'm trying. Okay, so I mean, this might be a little inside baseball, but we're live, so fuck it. I'm trying to build a bot that scrapes Twitter for cool guests and sends them a personalized message.
Damn.
And
let's go.
I'm having a little bit of a problem with X's API, but once I figure it out, it's over.
I see that there's a bunch of people watching now. Essentially what we figured out through using Perplexity AI is that the story you've heard about the pyramids and how they're built is impossible. And I mean, maybe we can do a quick review. So it says, what is this? Why is it impossible for?
I'll just read the thread.
Okay.
New discoveries beneath the Giza pyramid challenge our understanding of ancient Egyptian technology. Scans reveal a vast underground complex with multi-level structures, deep wells, and massive chambers spanning 2 kilometers. This suggests an engineering capabilities far beyond what we thought possible 4,500 years ago. The complexity of these structures, including 648-meter deep shafts and intricate hydraulic systems, raises questions about the time frame and the methods of construction. Traditional estimates of 20 to 30 years per pyramid seem insufficient when considering these additional subterranean features. While ancient Egyptians had impressive astronomical alignment techniques and simple machines, the level of deep excavation and hydraulic engineering required for these underground structures exceeds known Bronze Age capabilities. This challenges the idea that they were built concurrently with the pyramids. These findings open up new possibilities. Were these structures added later? Did ancient Egyptians possess advanced technologies we haven't yet discovered? Or is there another explanation? Further research is crucial to unravel this mystery and potentially rewrite our understanding of ancient civilizations.
Egyptologists, quit your damn jobs. You ain't no shit. Or if you do know shit, you've been hiding it from us, which is even worse. You've been stopping humanity from progressing as it should. Graham Hancock, salute, toast to him, man. He's been talking about this shit for years. This is proof that he's right. Something going on underneath, and I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Now, what about the other 2 pyramids?
Well, this is my understanding. Well, yeah, I guess they have the same thing. I mean, isn't this the whole structure though? Or no? Or maybe the other 2 pyramids were built later, and that's why they're not as dope, right? Isn't that one of the things? Like, there's other pyramids, but they're not as old or not built as well. I don't know.
I just have to question everything, because like, what the hell is even what? Like, how do we even know that?
Bro, Tartaria is real. I've now arrived. Tartaria is real. We found these structures in America. All right, we didn't build this shit.
Will you ask it after you're done? To think to see if it's possible that they were built and then later covered up by mud or soil, if that is a possibility at all.
I mean, you could cite, it is Graham Hancock, right? That's his name. We could cite his, based on this knowledge, I don't know how we tie it to Graham, but see, the only thing you got to teach your kids in the future is how to, your ugly ass kids. The only thing you got to teach them is how to prompt.
So I made a thread on the Goat Show. And then what I did was, at the bottom of the thread, I put a comment. This thread was made with Perplexity AI.
Dope.
So let's see what happens.
Yeah.
What did you want me to ask it? And do you want me to ask it in the same chat as the pyramid or a new chat?
No, same chat. I want to know if it's possible that they were built and from the ground up and then somehow covered, instead of what we're thinking, like they were dug out where they
Right.
built, and then something came in, and all that's left is the tip of it. That's all we see now. But again, there's bedrock, and there's a lot of other.
And then the other thing I was saying is, maybe we, based on Graham Hancock's books and knowledge, does it make sense for there to have been a different civilization or something like that? You know what I'm saying? That built these structures.
It would still require extraordinary engineering and planning capabilities. Like,
Yeah.
regardless of, it's not saying it's not possible. In fact, there's a lot to support it. But yeah,
The timelines and everything are obviously wrong, but actually trying to figure out how that thing was built is kind of what,
I think how and who now is going to be a really big question going forward, because like the timeline doesn't match up. Like the ancient Egyptians would have been building that for thousands of years before that, like digging through that hard bedrock 2 kilometers deep. And it's over 2 kilometers because it's the 2 kilometers part starts after the spirals. Just the block part is 2 kilometers.
Right.
So
it's either that they excavated or it was built as a skyscraper or something, and then it got covered up, one or the other.
Right.
I don't see how else you can,
I want to know what the fuck's in there now. Like what could be in there, dude? Like, holy shit. What could be at the bottom of those cylinders in the square chambers that are at the very bottom?
Listen, no more U.S. aid money to Egypt
until we can go to these.
Until we can go in, right, Larry? Are you watching, Larry? Larry Taunton, who was on the show, who was almost got freaking snatched.
He almost got taken out by secret Egyptian secret police.
They probably thought he was a comet. You know what I'm saying? Coming back, trying to figure out this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I do. Burial chambers or tombs? How does that even make sense? Oh, look, hydraulic or energy systems, ceremonial or ritual spaces, storage or functional spaces, hidden knowledge or artifacts.
That's what I want. There's got to be something. Who would go through the length to create this if there isn't something that you're trying to secure? Like I could see it being an energy source, maybe, but it doesn't make sense.
You ever notice in like pop culture, they make it seem like for example, the Mummy and shit like that's very like zombie-esque. And if you also look at pop culture, like as far as like the Nazis, they're also tied to like the occult and zombies through dig sites in Egypt and shit like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that is to deter people from finding the fucking truth.
I mean, maybe the Library of Alexandria is what's underneath the pyramids, and they've been hiding that shit.
That's another deep one. I don't believe that they burned the real library. I believe that there was 2. And I believe that the real one got burnt, or the real one didn't get burnt down. It got moved to the Vatican. But the other one, like the public facing one, like they're not letting the public fuck with the original copies of anything, even back then.
Yeah.
Probably especially back then.
Yeah.
Because it was so like valuable. Those things that they burned down were copies of scrolls and shit, you know?
What if like somehow, some way, finally get down there and get inside, and it's all like cooled and it's like futuristic, and it's Egyptian, but it's all like futuristic and shit, and it's got all these like,
it's like Assassin's Creed when you go underground and it looks like it's dwarven and shit. It's like really old ancient shit that's like where the stones glow and light up and all kinds of but listen, that would track more than what they say happened.
Right.
To me, that tracks more.
Yeah. Man. I mean, the power plant,
again, back to pop culture, all this shit has to stem from somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, who are they basing these things off? The elves were the Egyptians and the dwarves were the Irish and Celtic. I'm just saying.
Man. All right. Well, This is fascinating. We're definitely going to. I just think that Trump needs to start applying economic pressure to Egypt to get this thing excavated and to find out what the hell is going on down there.
I feel like the whole world deserves to know what the hell is going on, bro. It's the history of people. We need to find out what is truly happening. And all the people who spent money to college universities to be taught lies should be refunded too.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah.
You went and got a fucking degree in like the history of Egypt, and like that's what you do. You're a professor, you teach that or something.
Yeah.
You've literally been like perpetuating the lie forever. So yeah.
Time to it's about face. Should be demanded. I mean, the other thing is, I think we should apply economic pressure to Chad to go study that. What's it called? The rear shot, whatever they call it. Is that how you pronounce it? You know what I mean. To see what that thing is. See if that was Atlantis. You know, way back when. They need to study that thing, but they got a bunch of warlords out there and shit. We need to.
Well, Atlantis is under those tunnels. That's where those tunnels lead. That's where Thoth lived.
All right, let's find that out. Come on, Trump. We voted for this.
Inside the flat Earth or whatever, you know.
Did you see that? That guy said he found Mars in Greenland or whatever, and it's pretty convincing. Like it's like, you know,
is it Devon Island?
I don't know. I put it in one of our chats, but it's kind of convincing. It looks like if you just adjusted the color tone and stuff, you have the surface of Mars. I don't know.
I mean, if you know about, like, Google Earth did this thing called Mars on Earth at Devon Island, and they did it after the world kind of they don't want to admit that it's discovered, but discovered that the pictures of Mars were taken at Devon Island. So
we didn't go into space, bro. Space is fake.
What space, bro?
You heard it here first. Space is fake.
Yeah,
perhaps
Spake,
gay.
bro. That's the new T-shirt line. Spake. Space is fake.
SPAKE. Yeah. Damn. We've been
or it could be real, but it's just extremely hard to get there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Before we sign off, here's a word from our sponsor.
Bloodbeard. What a beard. He's got a beard, a very special beard, a romantically inclined beard. Oh, what a beard, you can't resist it. Blonde beards.
Go to blondebeards.com and use code GOAT at checkout for 10% off your first order.
If you've enjoyed the show today, definitely go to blondebeards.com. We did an interview with the founder, good friend of mine, Mr. Adam Nelson. Check out that interview. The sauces are good. We did a live taste testing, so it's for real. I think the IPA is probably my favorite. I've been warming up to IPA a lot, but the chicken and waffles is a absolute stunner. So I recommend.
You're only saying that because you're out of chicken and waffles. Chicken and waffles is the best one in my opinion. However, Black Magic, bro, is a close second in my opinion. But I've never tried the other ones, so I can't.
We've been giving out samples to people. Most people like the Black Magic the most.
Yeah,
I like it a lot. It's really good, tangy spice, but it's got like some garlicky flavor to it. It's good.
Yeah, definitely. Check out that Black Magic. They also, if you like it hot, they got hot as hell sauce too. So
holy hell, bro.
Holy hell. It's Friday. Listen, you're getting wings tonight. Get you some Blonde Beards. Order it up. All that kind of stuff. What about Astro Cards? Fresh? You want to talk about that a little bit?
I mean, we could talk about it for a second. Astro Cards is live on Say right now. We're about to push an update so that everybody can use their NFTs in the game and stuff like that. But you can go to astrocarts.io right now, play the game. Mint is live, free on Say.
Cool. Cool. And you got
Maybe
some
I'll
gear?
stream. Maybe I'll stream some Astro cards on Kick later today.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we do have some gear.
I like it. I want to order some. Is it ready to be ordered?
It's not ready to be ordered, but it is.
Those are
You can
dope,
put an
man.
order in.
Yeah, get a zoom in on that.
Oh,
If you that one with the big flying saucer. Look at that. That's cool. That's dope. I want one.
oh yeah.
That's pretty tight.
We'll make it happen, man. We will make it happen.
Well, if
All
you
right.
like the show, what do they got to do, Fresh?
Like, subscribe, bro. Honestly, go fuck yourself.